Hi there. Thanks for joining us for this weekend edition of Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. In today's show, Western Roundup returns, with Jamaicans sharing their experience growing up and their wish for Jamaica's future. Plus, Healthwise, as always, takes you on a wellness path to good health. Stick around. These and more interesting features are all packaged for your enlightenment.
Finally reach the next part I show them cut it. Talking about that, listen to this. Then sends a message. Disaster do happens. Be prepared. The municipal corporation reminds us of hurricane, earthquake, flooding, you name it, and preparedness.
Mommy, we really have to take this thing seriously.
Mommy, where's the emergency shelters?
Samir.
Primary school, churches, community centers. Know your nearest emergency shelter. Protect your family during any natural disaster. Be prepared. Visit the ODPEM website at odpem.org.jm to find the shelter listing for your parish. Know your emergency shelters.
It's been a wonderful summer, and the Emancipendence celebrations were the icing on the cake. If this period has reignited your love for the country and sparked a desire to explore, we have some ideas. Maybe it's time for a staycation.
Personally, when I was growing up, I would never consider vacationing in Jamaica because I always thought it was too expensive.
Accommodations in Destination Jamaica come in all shapes and sizes and cater to all pockets. Just a click on the JTB website can get you plugged into the links for villas, bed and breakfast spots, great houses, and a range of hotels. What attracts you to a vacation spot? White sand beaches, cascading waterfalls, sloping mountains, bustling marketplaces, sites rich in historic splendor, a culture that's second to none. From blue lagoons to mineral baths, Dolphins Cove to mystic trails, Destination Jamaica is far from short on attractions. How much do you know about Cousins Cove, where Taino burial ground and cave paintings are said to be featured? Maybe a trip to this small inlet along the Hanover coastline is in order. Whether your flavor lies in fashionable events, big stage productions, nightclubs, heritage displays, or even, why not, a golf tournament, the destination that is Jamaica offers up a bevy of opportunities to exchange overtime excursions with production reports for exciting immersions into entertaining presentations. So, an out-of-office business retreat is needed to iron out a potentially profitable deal. You've got something new, something borrowed, and something blue, and all you need now is somewhere to showcase it all. From the Jamaica Conference Center in Kingston to the burgeoning Conference Center in Montego Bay, the island is packed with meeting and event venues for any occasion.
A lot of us grew up in Jamaica, we don't know even a quarter of the island. And I think it's in this time when the economy is so difficult, instead of taking our foreign exchange to go foreign, I think we should stay here and invest that money in Jamaica.
Not exactly your first concern when planning that dream vacation? Well, you're likely not the only one, but there is some value in recognizing that to vacation in Jamaica will benefit the local economy, and that is likely to increase the chance of you affording to repeat that dream. So the next time you consider being bathed by the sun, drifting off to the lullaby of nature's breeze, toes dipped in cool blue waters, consider Jamaica, because sometimes home, with its familiarity, can offer up exquisite surprises and fun new opportunities. And just think, no language barrier to contend with.
It's Jamaica's 60th year as an independent nation, and this week's Western Roundup asks Jamaicans to share their fond memories of growing up on the island and what they wish for Jamaica's future. Let's look at that.
Happy Independence, Jamaica. 60 years and counting, and we are proud of the achievements of our nation. Today, we speak to residents across the region as we relive their best memories growing up in Jamaica, and we hear their wish for the years to come. Stay with us.
My fondest memory of Jamaica is the days when we used to be partying together as youngsters. The street dance coming up into August, the parades. It was so funny, mister. But nowadays, we haven't got any more. Football was phenomenal. The days of Seaver, the Wadada, the Violet Kickers, all those, the Disco Infernos, the nightclub downtown, the street parties. After this, we end up at 42nd Street. Maybe that is downtown Montego Bay. For your soup, your corn, everything was just there, man.
My best memories as a youth, we used to play cricket on the street, or we used to go to the bush and look guinea or mango or whatever we could get.
My fondest memory growing up in Jamaica is, well, I grew up in Glengolf, St. Catherine, so I live on a hill, and as children we used to use the coconut boughs to slide down the hill at the back of the yard, and that's my greatest, fondest memory as children.
My fondest memory, I was able to go outside and play ring games, hide and seek. Well, I was a tomboy. I had 5 brothers. Well, I have 5 brothers. And like I said, I'm a tomboy. Cricket, football, setting sweeps for birds. And, well, we used to catch lizards with this grass straw. And that was really fun. Not so fun part of it, because I was going barefooted. They had to hold me down and pick out maca from the foot. So, yeah, it was, trust me, no kids being on tablets, laptops, that kind of stuff. That's not for me. I love the hide and seek and that kind of stuff. Playing around, getting dirty and then have to bathe.
I born in the 70s. Within that period of time, crime wasn't so like how it is in 2000. We could go, when we live, where I live, I could go anywhere. I go river, I go bud bush. When crop time, like cashew time or mango time, I'm able to go anywhere.
My best memory is like going to the river. I love the river, so I'm always close by the river.
I would bring it back to growing up in the 80s, growing up in rural Jamaica, summertime, like now, swimming in the rivers. Our playtime was outdoors, and our fruits was our best bet. So as a child, I grew up hunting for fruits and going fishing in the rivers and going swimming. And that has built a very long-lasting memory in my life today.
Those memories definitely brought us back down memory lane. Let's hear the wishes for the future.
My idea and my thought on the future is for us to revisit the days of the past, get back to our community activities. Montego Bay in particular strive in sports and entertainment and community activities. We need to revisit those eras if we want to see the future.
My wish for Jamaica is to be able to sustain itself. We're supposed to work together, violence-free, and to be able to just sustain ourselves, grow the economy.
My wish for a peaceful country, for peace. That is my greatest wish. It is a big heartache to see, especially our children being murdered. It is very sad watching the news and then you hear babies are slain. It's hurtful.
Well, my wish is for the place for the people to be more peaceful and loving with each other. And our core function as police officers is to protect and serve. So I wish that people can go about their business more regularly and people just stop the violence and the crime, and we have a wonderful 60th anniversary. You know?
My wish for Jamaica 60th, I wish for the reduction of crime and violence. This has been negatively impacting not only Jamaica but the world on a whole. I want for youths to be more involved in the society.
My wish for Jamaica is that we could, in some respects, return to what Jamaica was 60 years ago. Because sometimes they say, to go forward you have to look back. And back 60 years ago, when I was a little boy, and we could go anywhere as children, and it was a time when the expression of it takes a village to raise a child, the entire village, was our home.
Jamaica 60, I would love for us to take a step back to look at all of our challenges and our successes and use that to push us forward.
We hope you enjoyed the program and you were brought back to your days of growing up in Jamaica. I certainly was. As a matter of fact, my favorite memory is summer spent by the river with my siblings and my cousins, and we would run a boat. As we celebrate Jamaica 60, we look forward to serving you and bringing you unbiased and accurate information about our country, Jamaica. As usual, thank you for joining us for Western Roundup, where we take you from the corners of St. Elizabeth to the hilly terrains of St. Anne. Remember to send your feedback to jismobi@jis.gov.jm. Until next time, stay safe.
We continue the Jamaica Magazine journey, and our next stop is designed with your health in mind. Up next, a guided approach to addressing overweight and obesity.
You want this lean, muscular physique and well-toned body, framed for the beach, carnival parade, or just your regular dressed down or formal attire. You want to cut the fat and develop that noticeable defined muscle and shape, but not significant muscle size. There's nothing wrong with any of that, as long as you remember the most important thing is not a summer or designer body, but rather a healthy body. By doing efficient exercises and controlling your weight, you can expect to safely lose between 1 and 2 pounds a week on your journey to a more fit body. But doctors recommend that you should not lose more than 1 to 2 pounds per week. For many people, even this rate may be too aggressive in terms of dietary and exercise modifications.
That body is not just going to come overnight. It's not going to come within 2 weeks or a month, depending. It all depends on the type of activity you do, how you do it.
Within 2 months, if you stick to your exercise program and if it's done properly, you will see and feel results. Before starting any structured exercise program, however, persons should first consult with their doctor.
The reason why we need a medical approval from our doctor is that a lot of us have pre-existing health conditions, and some of us are not as fit as we think. For example, in Jamaica, 4 in 10 is hypertensive and they don't know it. And it's the same with diabetes, 4 in 10 and don't know it. And our stats tell us 7 out of 10 Jamaicans die from a chronic disease. We define physical activity by intensity level and the frequency in which we do it. Frequency meaning how often we do it per week. For example, 2 times per week or 5 days per week. The intensity is the energy in which we use to perform the activity, meaning how hard you work out. There's 3 levels of intensity: low, moderate, and vigorous.
If you want to lose weight, the Ministry of Health recommends 60 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week. To lose and maintain weight, 90 minutes of moderate to vigorous exercise 5 days per week is recommended. There are 2 main categories of exercise, namely aerobic and anaerobic exercise.
What this is saying that the body needs oxygen to break down fat that is stored in the body. All the calories stored in the body as fat need oxygen to break it down, that is in the tissue. So if you want to lose weight, you must do the aerobic activity to burn that fat that we use as energy when we're doing the activity. So the type of activities are like swimming, running, dancing. It is normally done for a long period of time.
When you decide to lose weight, you want results. Results keep you motivated and on track. Cardiovascular exercises are part of the aerobic category, and they help you trim down by burning extra calories. While this helps shed excess fat and strengthens your cardiorespiratory system, it won't build the tone in your muscles that you're after.
Now, when we talk about anaerobic activity, it is activity that does not need oxygen. It's quick, it's fast, it's snap. So most of the time, that activity will help to tone the muscles that we're looking for. But you cannot tone unless, we lose that fat. So you need to do the aerobic activity, then you do the anaerobic activity, which is like the weightlifting, the squats, the push-ups, the jumping, so that now you lose with aerobic and then you tone with anaerobic.
Calories are the name of the game when you're trying to lose weight. Eat fewer calories than you burn and the scale will respond.
Generally, we work with a 2,000 to 2,500 caloric intake per day for the general population. But for each person, their caloric requirements is different because we calculate it based on your specific age, your height, weight, gender, and how physically active you are. Females generally eat less because they carry less muscle mass than men, and so they weigh less. The range is different. For someone who is very slim and short, then maybe 1,800 would be a safe amount to save for that person. But for men, 2,100 would be the lower end of the spectrum.
You may create a caloric deficit, which will cause you to lose weight, but it's best to work with a balanced diet and exercise.
A caloric deficit is when you consume less calories than what you're using for the day. So usually persons try to cut their caloric intake significantly to lose a lot of weight at once, but consuming less than, say, 1,200 calories per day can cause you to have nutritional deficiencies. You can lose muscle and bone, and your body will also go into starvation mode so that you'll stop losing weight altogether.
That's a no-no. The best way to slim down and tone up is to combine balanced diet and exercise. And avoid fad diets such as low-carb, high-protein, or anything that deviates from a balanced diet.
In Jamaica, we have food-based dietary guidelines that are specific to the Jamaican population, but it's based on the 6 food groups in the Caribbean. So we have food from animals, staples, legumes and nuts, fruits, vegetables, and fats and oils.
Losing weight at a rate faster than 1 to 2 pounds per week and regularly skipping meals can leave you feeling extraordinarily hungry so that you binge at the next opportunity, causing weight regain. Plan for 3 balanced meals per day, in addition to 1 or 2 healthy snacks.
You want to include foods from all of your food groups. So say, for example, you're planning for lunch, you want to include either food from animals or a plant-based protein like beans or nuts. You have your staple foods like rice, bread, or pasta, your fruits and vegetables that you can include in a salad, and you can put your fats and oils, for example, like in pear or avocado. Healthy snacks are low in fat, low in salt, and low in sugar. So you can have a fruit or vegetables, for example, carrot sticks, or you can use dried fruits and nuts. As a general guide, 1 serving of food from animals is the palm of your hand, a cup of rice is like your fist, and fats and oils is your thumb. That's 1 serving.
Losing fat and retaining or building muscle creates a strong, toned appearance. Do strength training activities that focus on all the major muscles and the entire body, upper, mid, and lower body. Plank is a good full body workout which helps to build strength in your core, upper, and lower body. Those that focus on the lower body include lunges, using the stairs, leg press, and squat exercises that effectively work most of the major muscle groups of the butt, hips, and thighs. Some examples of exercises to strengthen the mid-body abdominal muscles include the side twist, traditional crunch, bicycle crunch, and exercise ball. You can also try other activities to sculpt your legs, tone your thighs and bottom muscles, waist and abs.
Ensure that you hydrate properly. It is good to drink water before, during, and after your activity so you don't get dehydrated. Don't wait until you're thirsty, just take your water with you and sip, little sip as you go along. So make sure you work out at an intensity level that suits you, because every one of us are at a different fitness level.
Getting and staying fit is a lifestyle change, so you have to make exercise a part of your daily routine and eat a balanced diet daily for a happier, healthier you.
The COVID-19 pandemic put a lull on the attention paid to HIV care globally, but Jamaica has been stepping up efforts to eliminate this still present threat to public health, making self-testing kits available and accessible to all. Take a look.
The National Family Planning Board takes pride in launching HIV self-testing as another option for persons who want to know their HIV status. And yes, it is here. We're putting this product into the hands of members of the public through a very important public-private partnership through the pharmacies, and this will facilitate our reach to a wider audience. This kit allows persons to self-test within the comfort of their homes or to opt for self-test at a healthcare facility. You and your partner can do the test. So we're encouraging the sexually active persons at high risk to make use of available kits to determine their HIV status.
The National HIV Program is continuing its mandate of ensuring the provision of care through this new modality. This joins existing modalities of provider-initiated testing and counseling offered at our health facilities, outreach testing provided by our prevention team, and targeted testing through contact tracing and counseling. Testing allows for two things: the indication of a positive test or the provision of a negative result. For all persons who do self-testing, there are also avenues available for prevention, for treatment, and counseling. So we're not just sending you to do a self-test at home. All health facilities in Jamaica can guide you through the process of a positive or a negative test. However, there are 44 treatment sites in the public and private setting that you can go to get expert treatment and management of any HIV condition and HIV itself. The listing of all these health facilities is available on the Ministry of Health and Wellness's website. It will be available at the pharmacies that will be doing the self-testing, and it will also be available on our NFPB website. This initiative by the Ministry of Health and Wellness through the National Family Planning Board is welcomed as Jamaica moves towards epidemiological control of HIV.
This fits into our sustained effort to have more persons being tested for HIV.
as well as increase the number of persons who are aware of their HIV status. Globally, the body UNAIDS has had challenges back in 2020 to have a 90% of all people living with HIV to know their status. Another 90% of people to be diagnosed with HIV infection receiving sustained antiretroviral ARV treatment, and the last 90 of persons to be on antiretroviral treatment to attain viral suppression. No, the wider availability of the HIV test has the opportunity to ensure the realization of the first 90 targets. Success in this endeavor will mean we can end AIDS pandemic by 2030. The challenges to the continuum of care are being addressed by the program. This is one of the things to definitely make that happen. Checking our HIV status, especially if we are sexually active and not using protection. This is important for you to make sure you get this self-test kit.
You have the fluid for actually conducting the test and your swab stick that you will use and test for your results. Now, when persons hear about the oral test, they usually think that it's just push it into your mouth, but we don't want to be testing the saliva. You actually need to rub along the gum line, both top and bottom of the gum to ensure, and it's kind of, you have to do it hard to ensure that you are getting the cells. And you insert it in the container. Now you'll have to wait for 20 minutes to read it. It is suggested that you read at 20 minutes, not long after, not before. So there you go. Your results will be presented here. If you get a reactive or a positive result, you need to ensure that this result is confirmed through a confirmatory test. So you can go to any one of our treatment sites to get a confirmatory test done.
We are proud to partner with the Ministry of Health and the National Family Planning Board, and we are pleased to add this to our list of services. This is indeed a step in the right direction as we empower our communities to take greater control of their health.
We are confident that the purity of intent of the National Family Planning Board to make Jamaicans aware of their HIV status will indeed contribute positively to the general health and wellness of our citizens. I know that a lot of persons' life will indeed be enhanced by this venture.
There you have it. HIV self-testing is now here. You can go ahead and access these test kits at participating pharmacies across the island. And follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages to get more information about where these test kits are available.
This is where we close the Jamaica Magazine show today. There's more to watch by visiting our website. Be sure to join us tomorrow for another informative show. And on behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Until next time, take care and keep safe.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.